Yes, let the registrar.
Le président, je demande à Madame la greffière de citer l'affaire. La greffière. Oui, Monsieur le Président, il s'agit de l'affaire IT 0151I 01. Le procureur contre Slobodan Milosevic.
The appearances, please.
Le président, je demande aux parties de se présenter.
Microphone, please. Yes, Mr. President.
Un instant, nous n'entendons pas la traduction française.
The English should be on channel 4 normally, and it's not coming through.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Yes, Madam Prosecutor.
Oui, merci.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Honors. The Office of the Prosecutor, represented by Carla Del Ponte, Prosecutor, with my colleagues Jeffrey Nice, Dirk Reineveld, and Hildegard Urz-Retzlaff.
For the Amici Curiae, Stephen Kay, QC, Professor Michal Vladimirov, and Branislav Boskovic.
Thank you. The purpose of this hearing is to deal with two matters. First of all, for the accused to make his initial appearance on the Bosnia indictment, and secondly, for argument on the prosecution motion for joinder of the indictments. We will deal with the matters in that order and begin with the initial appearance, and that will start with the reading of the Bosnia indictment. Yes, let that be read.
The prosecutor of the tribunal against Slobodan Milosevic indictment. The prosecutor of the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, pursuant to her authority under Article 18 of the Statute of the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, charges Slobodan Milosevic with genocide, crimes against humanity, grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions, and violations of the laws or customs of war as set forth below. The accused. Slobodan Milosevic, son of Svetozar Milošević, was born on the 20th of August 1941 in Požarevac, in the present-day Republic of Serbia, one of the constituent republics of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, FRY. In 1964, he graduated from the law faculty of the University of Belgrade and began a career in management and banking. Until 1978, he held the posts of deputy director and later general director at Tehnogas, a major oil company in the then Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, that is the SFRY. Thereafter, he became president of Beogradska Banka, Beobanka, one of the largest banks in the SFRY, a post he held until 1983. Slobodan Milosevic joined the League of Communists of Yugoslavia in 1959. In 1984, he became chairman of the City Committee of the League of Communists of Belgrade. In 1986, he was elected chairman of the Presidium of the Central Committee of the League of Communists of Serbia and was re-elected in 1988. On the 16th of July 1990, the League of Communists of Serbia and the Socialist Alliance of Working People of Serbia united, forming a new party named the Socialist Party of Serbia, or SPS. On the 17th of July 1990, Slobodan Milosevic was elected president of the SPS and remained in that post, except during the period from the 24th of May 1991 to the 24th of October 1992. Slobodan Milosevic was elected president of the presidency of the then Socialist Republic of Serbia on the 8th of May 1989 and re-elected on the 5th of December 1989. After the adoption of a new constitution on the 28th of September 1990, the Socialist Republic of Serbia became the Republic of Serbia, and Slobodan Milosevic was elected to the newly established office of President of the Republic of Serbia in multi-party elections held in December 1990. He was re-elected to this office in elections held on the 20th of December 1992. After serving 2 terms as President of the Republic of Serbia, Slobodan Milosevic was elected President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia on the 15th of July 1997, beginning his official duties on the 23rd of July 1997. Following his defeat in the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia's presidential election of September 2000, Slobodan Milosevic relinquished his position on the 6th of October 2000. Individual criminal responsibility. Article 7.1 of the Statute of the Tribunal. Slobodan Milosevic is individually criminally responsible for the crimes referred to in Articles 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Statute of the Tribunal, as described in this indictment, which he planned, instigated, ordered, committed, or in whose planning, preparation, or execution he otherwise aided and abetted. By using the word committed in this indictment, the prosecutor does not intend to suggest that the accused physically committed any of the crimes charged personally. Committed in this indictment refers to participation in a joint criminal enterprise as a co-perpetrator. Slobodan Milosevic participated in the joint criminal enterprise as set out below. The purpose of this joint criminal enterprise was the forcible and permanent removal of the majority of non-Serbs, principally Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats, from large areas of the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina through the commission of crimes which are in violation of Articles 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Statute of the Tribunal. The joint criminal enterprise was in existence from the 1st of August 1991 and continued until at least the 31st of December 1995. The individuals participating in this joint criminal enterprise included Slobodan Milosevic, Radovan Karadžić, Momčilo Krajišnik, Biljana Plavšić, General Latko Mladić, Borisav Jović, Branko Kostić, Veljko Kadijević, Blagoje Adžić, Milan Martić, Jovica Stanišić, Franko Simatović, also known as Frankie, Radovan Stojčić, also known as Bađa, Vojislav Šešelj, Željko Ražnjatović, also known as Arkan, and other known and unknown participants. The crimes enumerated in counts 1 to 29 of this indictment were within the object of the joint criminal enterprise. Alternatively, the crimes enumerated in counts 1 to 15 and 19 to 29 were natural and foreseeable consequences of the execution of the object of the joint criminal enterprise, and the accused was aware that such crimes were the possible outcome of the execution of the joint criminal enterprise. In order for the joint criminal enterprise to succeed in its objective, Slobodan Milosevic worked in concert with or through other individuals in the joint criminal enterprise. Each participant or co-perpetrator within the joint criminal enterprise, sharing the intent to contribute to the enterprise, placed his or her own role or roles that significantly contributed to achieving the objective of the enterprise. Paragraphs 10 to 22 refer to other persons. Therefore, the reading of the indictment will be continued from paragraph 23. From 1987 until late 2000, Slobodan Milosevic was the dominant political figure in Serbia and the SFRY. He acquired control of all facets of the Serbian government, including the police and the state security services. In addition, he gained control over the political leaderships of Kosovo, Vojvodina, and Montenegro. In his capacity as the President of Serbia and through his leading position in the SPS party, Slobodan Milosevic exercised effective control or substantial influence over the above-listed participants in the joint criminal enterprise, and either alone or acting in concert with them and additional known and unknown persons, effectively controlled or substantially influenced the actions of the Federal Presidency of the SFRY and later the FRY, the Serbian Ministry of Internal Affairs MUP, the JNA, the Yugoslav Army VJ, and the VRS, as well as Serb paramilitary groups. Slobodan Milosevic, acting alone and in concert with other members of the joint criminal enterprise, participated in the joint criminal enterprise in the following ways. A. He exerted effective control over elements of the JNA and VJ which participated in the planning, preparation, facilitation, and execution of the forcible removal of the majority of non-Serbs, principally Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats, from large areas of Bosnia and Herzegovina. B. He provided financial, logistical, and political support to the VRS. These forces subsequently participated in the execution of the joint criminal enterprise through the commission of crimes which are in violation of Articles 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Statute of the Tribunal. C. He exercised substantial influence over and assisted the political leadership of Republika Srpska in the planning, preparation, facilitation, and execution of the takeover of municipalities in Bosnia and Herzegovina and the subsequent forcible removal of the majority of non-Serbs, principally Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats, from those municipalities. D. He participated in the planning and preparation of the takeover of municipalities in Bosnia and Herzegovina and the subsequent forcible removal of the majority of non-Serbs, principally Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats, from those municipalities. He provided the financial, material, and logistical support necessary for such takeover. E. He participated in the formation, financing, supply, support, and direction of special forces of the Republic of Serbia Ministry of Internal Affairs. These special forces participated in the execution of the joint criminal enterprise through the commission of crimes which are in violation of Articles 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Statute of the Tribunal. F. He participated in providing financial, logistical, and political support and direction to Serbian irregular forces or paramilitaries. These forces participated in the execution of the joint criminal enterprise through the commission of crimes which are in violation of Articles 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Statute of the Tribunal. G. He controlled, manipulated, or otherwise utilized Serbian state-run media to spread exaggerated and false messages of ethnically based attacks by Bosnian Muslims and Croats against Serb people, intending to create an atmosphere of fear and hatred among Serbs living in Serbia, Croatia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, which contributed to the forcible removal of the majority of non-Serbs, principally Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats, from large areas of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Slobodan Milosevic knowingly and willfully participated in the joint criminal enterprise, while being aware of the foreseeable consequences of this enterprise. On this basis, he bears individual criminal responsibility for these crimes under Article 7.1 of the Statute of the Tribunal, in addition to his responsibility under the same article for having planned, instigated, ordered, or otherwise aided and abetted in the planning, preparation, and execution of these crimes. Article 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal. Slobodan Milosevic, while holding positions of superior authority, is also individually criminally responsible for the acts or omissions of his subordinates, pursuant to Article 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal. The superior is responsible for the criminal acts of his subordinates if he knew or had reason to know that his subordinates were about to commit such acts or had done so, and the superior failed to take the necessary and reasonable measures to prevent such acts or to punish the perpetrators. From at least March 1991 until the 15th of June 1992, Slobodan Milosevic exercised effective control over the 4 members of the Serbian bloc within the presidency of the SFRY. These 4 individuals were Borisav Jovic, the representative of the Republic of Serbia, Branko Kostic, the representative of the Republic of Montenegro, Jugoslav Kostic, the representative of the Autonomous Province of Vojvodina, and Sejdo Bajramović, the representative of the Autonomous Province of Kosovo and Metohija. Slobodan Milosevic used Borisav Jovic and Branko Kostic as his primary agents in the presidency, and through them he directed the actions of the Serbian bloc. From the 1st of October 1991, in the absence of the representatives of the presidency from Croatia, Slovenia, Macedonia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, the 4 members of the Serbian bloc exercised the powers of the presidency, including that of collective commander-in-chief of the JNA. This rump presidency acted without dissension to execute Slobodan Milosevic's policy. The federal presidency had effective control of the JNA as its commander-in-chief and other units under the supervision of the JNA. Generals Veljko Kadijević and Blagoje Adžić, who directed and supervised the JNA forces in Bosnia and Herzegovina, were in constant communication and consultation with the accused. On the 27th of April 1992, the Supreme Defense Council was formed. Throughout the time relevant to this indictment, Slobodan Milosevic was a member of the Supreme Defense Council and exercised substantial influence and control over other members of the Council. The Supreme Defense Council and the President of the FAR had de jure control over the JNA and later the VJ. In addition to his de jure powers, at all times relevant to this indictment, Slobodan Milosevic exercised de facto control over the JNA and the VJ through his control over the high-ranking officers of these armies. Slobodan Milosevic is therefore individually criminally responsible under Article 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal for the participation of the members of the JNA and the VJ and other units under the supervision of the JNA and the VJ in the crimes described in this indictment. From the time Slobodan Milosevic came to power in Serbia, he exercised control over key officials in the Serbian MUP, among them Radmilo Bogdanović and Zoran Sokolović, who were both at different times the Minister of Internal Affairs of Serbia. He also exercised control over Jovica Stanisic and Franko Simatovic, both high-ranking officials of the DB. Through these officials, Slobodan Milosevic exercised effective control over agents of the MUP, including the DB, who directed and supported the actions of the special forces and Serb paramilitary groups operating in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The accused, Slobodan Milosevic, is therefore individually criminally responsible under Article 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal for the participation of the members of the Serbian MUP, including the DB, in the crimes described in this indictment. The charges. Counts 1 and 2. Genocide or complicity in genocide. From on or about the 1st of March 1992 until the 31st of December 1995, Slobodan Milosevic, acting alone or in concert with other members of the joint criminal enterprise, planned, instigated, ordered, committed, or otherwise aided and abetted the planning, preparation, and execution of the destruction in whole or in part of the Bosnian Muslim and Bosnian Croat national, ethnical, racial, or religious groups as such in territories within Bosnia and Herzegovina, including Bijeljina, Bosanski Novi, Bosanski Šamac, Bratunac, Brčko, Doboj, Foča, Sarajevo, Iljaš, Ključ, Kotor Varoš, Sarajevo, Novigrad, Prijedor, Rogatica, Sanski Most, Srebrenica, Višegrad, Vlasenica, and Zvornik. The destruction of these groups was effected by A. The widespread killing of thousands of Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats during and after the takeover of territories within Bosnia and Herzegovina, including those listed above, as specified in Schedule A to this indictment. In many of the territories, educated and leading members of these groups were specifically targeted for execution, often in accordance with pre-prepared lists. After the fall of Srebrenica in July 1995, almost all captured Bosnian Muslim men and boys, altogether several thousand, were executed at the places where they had been captured or at sites to which they had been transported for execution. B. The killing of thousands of Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats in detention facilities within Bosnia and Herzegovina, including those situated within the territories listed above as specified in Schedule B of this indictment. C. The causing of serious bodily and mental harm to thousands of Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats during their confinement in detention facilities within Bosnia and Herzegovina, including those situated within the territories listed above as specified in Schedule C to this indictment. Members of these groups, during their confinement in detention facilities and during their interrogation at these locations, police stations and military barracks, were continuously subjected to or forced to witness inhumane acts including murder, sexual violence, torture, and beatings. D. The detention of thousands of Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats in detention facilities within Bosnia and Herzegovina, including those situated within the territories listed above, under conditions of life calculated to bring about the partial physical destruction of those groups, namely through starvation, contaminated water, forced labor, inadequate medical care, and constant physical and psychological assault. By these acts and omissions, Slobodan Milosevic committed, Count 1, genocide, punishable under Articles 4.3a and 7.1 and 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal, or, Count 2, complicity in genocide, punishable under Articles 4.3e and 7.1 and 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal.
Count 3. Persecutions. From on or about the 1st of March 1992
until the 31st of December 1995, Slobodan Milosevic, acting alone or in concert with with members of the Joint Criminal Enterprise, planned, instigated, ordered, committed, or otherwise aided and abetted the planning, preparation, or execution of persecutions of non-Serbs, principally Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats, within the territories of Banja Luka, Bihać, Bijeljina, Bileća, Bosanska Dubica, Bosanska Gradiška, Bosanska Krupa, Bosanski Novi, Bosanski Petrovac, Bosanski Šamac, Bratunac, Brčko, Čajniče, Čelinac, Doboj, Donji Vakuf, Foča, Gacko, Goražde, Sarajevo Hadžići, Sarajevo Iliđa, Sarajevo Ilijaš, Ključ, Kalinovik, Kotor Varoš, Nevesinje, Sarajevo Novigrad, Sarajevo Novo Sarajevo, Sarajevo Pale, Prijedor, Prnjavor, Rogatica, Rudo, Sanski most, Šekovići, Šipovo, Sokolac, Srebrenica, Teslić, Trebinje, Sarajevo Trnovo, Višegrad, Vlasenica, Sarajevo Vogošća, and Zvornik. Throughout this period, Serb forces comprised of JNA, VJ, VRS units, local TO units, local and Serbian MUP police units, and paramilitary units from Serbia and Montenegro attacked and took control of towns and villages in these territories. After the takeover, the Serb forces, in cooperation with the local Serb authorities, established a regime of persecutions designed to drive the non-Serb civilian population from these territories. These persecutions were committed on the discriminatory grounds of political affiliation, race or religion, and included A. The extermination or murder of thousands of Bosnian Muslim, Bosnian Croat, and other non-Serb civilians, including women and the elderly, in those territories listed above, the details of which are set out in Schedules A and B to this indictment. B. The prolonged and routine imprisonment and confinement of thousands of Bosnian Muslim, Bosnian Croat, and other non-Serb civilians in detention facilities within and outside of Bosnia and Herzegovina, the details of which are set out in Schedule C of this indictment. C. The establishment and perpetuation of inhumane living conditions against Bosnian Muslim, Bosnian Croat, and other non-Serb civilians within the above-mentioned detention facilities. These living conditions were brutal and characterized by inhumane treatment, overcrowding, starvation, forced labor, and systematic physical and psychological abuse, including torture, beatings, and sexual assault. D. The prolonged and frequent forced labor of Bosnian Muslim, Bosnian Croat, and other non-Serb civilians from these detention facilities. The forced labor included digging graves and trenches and other forms of manual labor at the front lines. E. The cruel and inhumane treatment of Bosnian Muslim, Bosnian Croat, and other non-Serb civilians during and after the takeover of the municipalities specified above. Such inhumane treatment included, but was not limited to, sexual violence, torture, physical and psychological abuse, and forced existence under inhumane living conditions. F. The imposition of restrictive and discriminatory measures against Bosnian Muslims, Bosnian Croats, and other non-Serbs, such as the restriction of freedom of movement, removal from positions of authority in local government institutions and the police, dismissal from jobs, arbitrary searches of their homes, denial of the right to judicial process, and the denial of the right to equal access to public services, including proper medical care. G. The beating and robbing of Bosnian Muslim, Bosnian Croat, and other non-Serb civilians. H. The forcible transfer and deportation of thousands of Bosnian Muslim, Bosnian Croat, and other non-Serb civilians from the territories listed above to locations outside of Serb-held territories, as described in paragraphs 40 and 41 and Schedule D to this indictment. I. The appropriation and plunder of property belonging to Bosnian Muslim, Bosnian Croat, and other non-Serb civilians. J. The intentional and wanton destruction of homes, other public and private property belonging to Bosnian Muslims and Bosnian Croats, their cultural and religious institutions, historical monuments, and other sacred sites, as described in paragraph 42. K. The obstruction of humanitarian aid, in particular medical and food supplies, into the besieged enclaves Bihać, Gorazde, Srebrenica and Žepa, and the deprivation of water from the civilians trapped in the enclaves, designed to create unbearable living conditions. By these acts and omissions, Slobodan Milosevic committed Count 3. Persecutions on political, racial, or religious grounds, a crime against humanity, punishable under Articles 5H and 7.1 and 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal. Counts 4 to 7. Extermination, murder, and willful killing. From on or about the 1st of March 1992 until the 31st of December 1995, Slobodan Milosevic, acting alone or in concert with other members of the joint criminal enterprise, planned, instigated, ordered, committed, or otherwise aided and abetted the planning, preparation, or execution of the extermination, murder, and willful killings of non-Serb